Mm. Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Let's take a quick look at the market today. It doesn't seem as bad as yesterday, so that's a good thing. The real question is this just gonna be a quick bounce, or is it gonna be a dead cat bounce, or is it gonna be, or are we done? So hope everybody's having a good day today. Let's take a quick look. I mean, we have some growth stocks up a nice amount today, but let's just jump into Finviz real quick to see how the market. So right now, Dow is up 0.67, right? The Nasdaq is up 0.93. S&P 500 is up 0.77. So definitely interesting. Overall, all market is pretty green. Gordon, what's going on? Good morning, Gordon. How's it going? So today it seems like pretty much all our big players, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Facebook, are up. Netflix continues to be on a tear. Danny, kind of scared to take any trades with SPY on downtrend. So Danny, you're not making any trades right now, but I'm guessing you're still in long-term investing, right, Danny? Gordon, how's it going? How was yesterday for you, Gordon? Was it a bit crazy yesterday evening? It may be a dead cat bounce, Gordon. I feel similar way, right? I think right now, maybe yesterday might have been just too much of a correction. So today we might see a bit of a grain of it. But I think the overall trend might still continue. I mean, usually I'm always wrong with it, so it's probably best to do the opposite of what I'm saying, right? Gordon should monitor a few days. Yes, I do believe, right? We gotta keep an eye out things for a few more days. Yesterday I didn't think it was a huge dip. Right? It's not something for me to go out and get that piggy bank ready just yet. For me, I'm still in that dollar cost averaging phase. Buenos dias, Rajesh. How's it going, Rajesh? How's everything? Gordon, my position is down 4%. Yeah, I mean, my portfolio was yesterday, I think, was the worst day. I don't even know where my phone is. I think it's charging right now. But yesterday was one of my worst days for me. What's going on, AN? Hello, Jose. Let's hit 100 again. I don't think we're going to get 100 again today, AN. That would be awesome. But I think yesterday was just the overall excitement of the stock market seeing a crazy red day. So I don't think we're gonna hit it today, but we'll hit it again this month or maybe next month. So super excited about that. Rajesh, what's going on, Rajesh? He says he wants to forget yesterday in a hurry. Did anybody pick up anything yesterday? That's the real question. Good morning, Q. How's it going? Tina, what's going on? Good morning, Tina. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Tina, I think this might be your first time here. My apologies. Unless there has been a change name. Normally I'm very good with names, or it's been a while since you've been here, so welcome. Danny, Jose, you will still add to your portfolio bi-weekly. So I add in form of cash to my portfolio usually every other week. I add cash to my account, but I buy weekly, so I kind of divide that bi-weekly deposit every week. So yes, I'm still gonna continue that. At the moment, I still don't think it's gonna be a time for me to go super heavy in. So let's see. I'm long time FC. Not sure what FC means. 33. What's going on? 33. Gordon, I bought into AMRS. So yesterday I did 2 episodes, right? I mean, yesterday I did an episode on the semiconductor industry. Those are looking pretty interesting for sure. ASML, I know there's a lot of people here. Well, there's a few people here who are excited about ASML. That one, I believe, is going to continue to do some strong moves. Stock is up 2.93% today, so that's actually pretty good. This is one buying a nice. This is one that's been doing a lot of buybacks. We've been talking about that. So ASML was one I talked about yesterday in my episode. Nvidia is up 2.2% as well today. Another one we took a look at yesterday. AMD is up 0.82. I'm surprised AMD is not up that big. And this always gets me, right? Every time I put AMD stock, it always tells me, did you mean AMC stock? No, Google, I barely ever search for AMC stock. I only always search for AMD stock. So I mean, get your machine learning intact, man. You have to learn. I'm looking for AMD, not AMC. And we also talked about Qualcomm yesterday. Qualcomm, this one is still down about 0.54%. I feel like Qualcomm right now is being slept on. It's definitely being slept on. If there was a semiconductor company, I really want to, if I want to enter more exposure into the semiconductor, Qualcomm would probably be one I wouldn't mind entering in. Rajesh, my portfolio turned red for the first time in a long time. September was a bad month. October is even worse. Hey, don't bring that negativity in here, Rajesh. October is going to be the best month. I don't know if you missed it yesterday, Rajesh. A lot of you guys kid around that the moment I go away in vacation, that's when stock turns around. I'm going on vacation October 14th, I believe. So in a few, about a week and a half from now. So your portfolios, it's going to be hilarious if the stock market kind of turns around when I'm in vacation. Gordon, AMRS, you bought into AMRS in the beauty products. Definitely not a market I'm in, but best of luck on that position. Amiris, so right now they're up a nice amount. We can see this has definitely seen quite a pullback, right, from its 52-week highs down about 42%. I can already see from the overall market, if I look at it in my charts, it's sitting at a huge volume area. So definitely a good portion of the risk, I believe, has been eliminated in the short term of things. So best of luck to that, Gordon. Facebook was down. Yes, Facebook. I mean, Facebook, I heard the actual website. I don't have Facebook, so I didn't know, or Instagram. So Facebook, I heard, was down. And I do believe that caused a nice amount of this stock drop. I mean, look, it dropped over almost 6%, 5.8%. That's pretty insane. But from that bottom, it's already up about 2.5%. I really like Facebook. Like, I don't know if Fizz is here. I enjoy Facebook right now for the advertisement, but super good for the optionality of where this company is going with the metaverse and gaming. Carlo, what's going on, Carlos? Sorens is looking good. Yes, this is going to be my position for Thursday for sure. Sorens, especially at these levels, I'm really liking it. Really want to increase my position on this. In the 80s, no doubt. I mean, there's no question for me in the 80s for me to not buy Sorens at these levels. This is one that I want to say, even though it's a tier 1 drop, Seeking Alpha, Sorens, buy the drop on this fast grower. Obviously, they're obviously, whoever's writing this on Seeking Alpha is watching my channels right now, watching my views and kind of giving that information. Sorens is definitely at a bargain. Let's see, David Becker, marking my vacation on a calendar. Pretty rude, David Becker. Danny, on average, October should be green and November should be one of the best months of the year. My birthday month. Well, early happy birthday. Happy early birthday, Danny, on November. Hopefully you bring us luck, right? Fizz, I'm here just in a meeting though. You and your meetings. We're working too hard, Fizz. Gordon, yep, CRNC is a bargain, I agree. Rajesh, disfruta tus vacaciones con tu esposa. Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you. Appreciate it. So let's take a quick look at the market right now, right? So, I mean, big growth stocks that were down yesterday big are up today. For example, right, apps is up 6.1%. Net is up 4.9%. We're definitely seeing, I think Net was flexing yesterday on Twitter, I believe, right? They were joking around that, hey, we're never down, and if Facebook needed a way to come back up, to just message Cloudflare. So I think Net was definitely flexing their superpowers yesterday. Gravity, right, gaming company is up 4%. Magnite is up 3.6%. Unity is up 3.7%. DraftKings has been sitting pretty steadily around these $50 price point. So I'm really liking this. It's a lot of volume here, right? Even with the big drop, it's still around the $50. We have some Chinese stocks still up. Celsius is back up. I mean, Celsius just never gives up, right? Celsius is up 3.59%. Even with that big dip, it looks like it never dips. So we can see Fastly's up 3%. Upwork, a lot of big movers right now. Even my big players, Nvidia up 2.63%. So I'm hoping it's not just a bounce. I mean, it doesn't matter regardless, right? As a long-term investor, I don't care if it was just a quick drip. If we're going to see some kind of movement like this again in the next few days, but definitely something to keep an eye out. Mercado Libre, I'm still liking. I think Mercado Libre is going to be a definite buy for me this week. Mercado Libre and Sorens, those are the two for sure I'm looking into today. Might be a bit too early to say, Rajesh. Danny, don't bring Danny. I'm asking you, don't bring that negativity. Just kidding. I mean, yeah, volatility can continue in the market, and definitely something to keep an eye out. All right, so Right now is definitely a day. Yesterday is the time to dollar cost average. Today is the time for me, unless you're that Melly or unless you're the Sorens, maybe to just wait up. I feel like sometimes what ends up happening is people get scared on days like yesterday, right? Yesterday is a super red day. People get scared and not buy anything. And then we see crazy days like today where stuff like apps is up 6%. And then people get kind of fearful that they're going to miss the gains, right? And I believe that's actually the worst time to enter, right? For example, apps right now 6% up. People are gonna be like, "Oh man, I missed the dip yesterday. Let me go in right now." And I believe that affects a little bit the returns in the long term. I prefer buying in days like today. Gordon, PaySafe is like oversold. PaySafe is one. If I didn't buy last week, I think I bought last week, I would have bought again this week. I kind of go every other week on when I purchase something. PaySafe is one. I'm like, I really do. Even though the stock price is not giving me the things I want right now, PaySafe one I really, really enjoy. I can see this being a multi-bagger for me in the next few years. Soren's chart looking like Peloton chart, that falling knife. Let's see. How's Peloton? Is Peloton green today? I think Peloton is green. It does actually look like Peloton, right? Sorens is bouncing off here. And if we take, that's Peloton. If we take a quick look at Sorens, Sorens, right, similar, kind of just sitting at that support level. We have to see how it comes up. Gordon, gotta be patient. Yeah, PaySafe is one of those stocks for sure, Gordon, where you have to be patient. I don't think this is one that I'm expecting any big moves anytime soon. But PaySafe, I like. I got into the A's, but let's see what's happening in the market. What to watch today? Wall Street looks higher after Monday's tech decline. So first, let's see. U.S. stock futures pointed at higher open. Yes, we saw that. Kramer still sees risk in the market, but says it's time to look for stocks to buy. Right, even though we've had some strong days, I do believe if we take a look at most of my stocks, they're kind of sitting in the short-term moving average, looking in the medium-term moving average, looking at 3 days. If we take a look at daily time frame, most of them are kind of sitting next to that $200-day time frame. And that 200-day time frame seems to be an interesting time for most companies. So for me, I mean, for example, DraftKings looks attractive at these levels. What else looks super attractive? I think Datadog, nope, not Datadog. Teladoc, if one's bullish in Teladoc, looks a bit attractive. Redfin definitely looks attractive. It's kind of been holding up into this 200 moving average. So Redfin looks super attractive. Square, I believe, not to the 200 on the 3-day frame, but it's pretty close to there. Square also looks pretty attractive. Shopify looks pretty attractive. I think Twilio, yes, Twilio too. Spotify for sure. I'm really liking Spotify at these levels. So there's definitely, I want to say, some nice buying opportunities in the market right now. CrowdStrike looking interesting for sure as well. I think Facebook, yeah, Facebook for sure. I believe even Roku, yeah, Roku for sure is looking attractive at these levels. So there's a nice amount of stocks out there that I want to say I'm happy. I believe September and early August, there was just too much excitement in the market in some stocks. I believe a nice pull down has happened. And I kind of agree with Kramer there that it is time to start looking at some stocks to buy. What else do we have? On today's economic calendar, the government releases August trade deficit figures at 8:30. Unemployment recipients fell by more than half after Labor Day. In news today, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told CNBC on Tuesday she believes the economy would fall into a recession if Congress fails to address the borrowing limit before an unprecedented default on the U.S. debt. And they regard as October 18th as a deadline. So definitely pretty interesting. I do believe that's why we're going to continue to see volatility in the market till like October 18th. There's numerous things happening. Biden on Tuesday set to visit Michigan District of Moderate Democrat lawmakers who have urged him to promote his $3.5 trillion budget. Facebook has the whistleblower thing happening right now. So there's just a lot of things of everything. So 5 things to know before the market opened today. Wall Street looks higher. Yeah, we saw that. U.S. faces recession if Congress doesn't act on debt limit, Yellen says. Oil prices rose to around 7-year high prices after OPEC allies moves. That's interesting. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop traveling. It seems I'm not gonna be driving too much with these oil prices. Facebook whistleblower to testifier, platform outage fix. That's actually super weird, right? How there was the whistleblower yesterday, and the company went outage yesterday as well. Tesla must pay ex-worker 137 million over hostile workplace and racism. So kind of interesting. Nothing too crazy, I want to say, in the market right now. Moving it, but I do believe we're gonna continue with volatility. Dow is still ripping. Everything is ripping right now. Dow is up almost 1%. Nasdaq is up 1.06%, and we got the S&P 500 up 1.0%. Door dashing and investing. What's going on, Bill Brent? I hope everything's going on, Bill. Going good. I'm seeing you're pumping videos, Bill Brent. Continue to do that. And I'm telling you, the more you do it, the more you learn, and the better they get. Dennis, Cerence is a buy at current prices. I like it. I 100% like Cerence at these levels. Cerence stock. I like Cerence. I do like Cerence at these levels. Like I mentioned, Thursday is going to be my buying times. This is when I enter it. I'm glad you mentioned PaySafe. Why, Tina? Are you bullish in PaySafe, Tina? I really like it. It's one of my favorite fintech companies right now. With a great price point to entry. Like it's one of my favorite fintechs, and it's one sitting at a great price in my opinion. Low gravity just jumped 4% on volume of only 1,000. That's insane. That's one thing about gravity, right? Fizz, it moves super quick, super fast with just small volume. So Gordon, Okta. I'm not sure if you're looking at Okta. Okta's looking attractive, right? It's definitely looking attractive at these levels. I want to say 226 looks nice. It will look better in the 200 and teens level. So it's looking super. 200 and the 200 teens would probably be a better price point entry, but it's not looking bad in my opinions in forms of Okta. But yes, let's see what else. Rajesh, how's the COVID situation looking like in the U.S., Jose? So Rajesh, here, I mean, it depends. It all depends in states. Here in New Jersey, I live in New Jersey. I mean, things. You still have you have a huge. I think New Jersey has a nice amount of vaccinated people, so things are kind of looking similar back to normal. There's a lot of people not wearing masks, a lot of people wearing masks too. I believe here in New Jersey. It looks like it's getting so much better compared to last year, right? I mean, stores are packed, malls are. I'm seeing a lot of people at the mall still. So in forms of people traveling and stuff here in New Jersey, it is looking. I can't say because it all depends on the state, right, Rajesh? I can't say how it's looking in other states. Maybe some other people in other states could share how it's looking by them. But by here in New Jersey, it looks like things are a lot better. Kendo Cerence looking attractive right now, 100%. Kendo Cerence is looking very attractive. I'm really liking it at these mid 80s. This is a nice buying opportunities. I wish it stays like this for Thursday. If it does, I think I might go in a little bit heavier than I do on a weekly basis. Dennis, you're talking about Qualcomm. I did an episode on Qualcomm yesterday, Dennis. I'm not sure if you took a look at it. I did for semiconductors. I'm liking Qualcomm at these levels. If there was a semiconductor company right now that I believe was a little bit undervalued compared to the rest of its market, I would say is Qualcomm. It's a huge leader, strong in the 5G market right now. They just made a nice acquisition to the automotive market, strong player in VR, XR, 5G, and a dividend play, positive in earnings, positive in cash flow from operations. So for me, Qualcomm, in all honesty, obviously I'm more of a growth style player, and I enjoy my Nvidia and AMD a little bit better. But in forms of price points, I definitely like Qualcomm at these levels. What's going on? Let's see. I got money today, so must be a green day. Didn't Bill Brent? That's the thing, right? Every time we put money in the market, it ends up being a green day. We never have money when it's a red day. Jesus, your gas prices are as cheap as chips compared to the EU. Hence why I went eating. Agree. I mean there's still certain states in here in New Jersey where you're paying like $2, 2 point something on gas per gallon. Here in New Jersey, we do have some gas tax. So gas is a little bit higher than most states here in New Jersey, even though we're right at the harbor and we have one of the best harbor points where a lot of the gas just kind of moves in. So in theory, we should have cheap gas, but we don't, unfortunately. But oil prices are expected to rise further. Won't be surprised if it touches $100 by end of month. OPEC is not willing to pump up the output. Very interesting for sure. And 33, right? If I lived right now, I wouldn't mind moving into the EV market. Unfortunately, right now I live in a community, and inside the community I live, I don't think I can just go and put a charging station near my parking spot. So eventually, if I do buy another house and more of a actual house, not inside the community, I do believe my wife and I would change to at least having one EV vehicle. Maybe not both, but one. Gordon, between 210 and 220, I agree for OCK. That definitely seems pretty interesting. Bill Bren, T-Doc is screaming a buy. It's a crazy low price to sell at lowest level in 2 years. Definitely. I mean, I think T-Doc is one that many people are just kind of just putting to the side. Hey, COVID is done. No one's doing telemedicine anymore, but I don't think that's the case. I think, like you mentioned, telemedicine, not a market I'm too excited right now. Maybe that's why I haven't really looked at Teladoc. But for ones that should, that are bullish, I definitely think Teladoc is giving some nice buying opportunities. Roblox, Carlo, things are looking good in Ireland. EU re-COVID. Oh, thank you, 33, for sharing that information. Carlo, Roblox, why is this falling? Is Roblox down today? Roblox was up yesterday. It was one of the few stocks I believe that was up on the day. But now it's up. It's down 4.4%. Hedge funds are warm. This is interesting. Let's see. It's down 4.4%. I wonder if let's see. Roblox down 4% on no major news. So let's see. Roblox. It's an online. Nope. I mean, this has no news here. Let me. I don't know if I'm signed into my account, so I don't want to log in if I'm not. Let me log out. Fidelity. Roblox. Oops. I want to see if there's any actual news. That's pretty interesting, right? Roblox is down 4.4%. The only thing I can think of, no, there's nothing that I see here either. More news and events. Nothing affecting Roblox stock price. The only thing I could say is maybe Netflix is going after Roblox and closing down some of those Squid games or kind of reporting them as copyright infringement or something like that. I don't think that would be the case, but it's a possibility, and that might be causing Roblox to drop. Maybe Roblox investors, but that's interesting. Roblox down 4% today on no real news. Investors relations. Let's see, Roblox investors relations. Anything that they announced. Nope, nothing. And maybe stock twits. Let's take a quick look at stock twits to see what about Roblox. If they might know. Usually, right, stock twits is good to just offering incoming. Open a new position. Roblox, what happened here? Nothing really. Take out new buyers. Looks like offering is incoming. Okay, so it seems like there's apparently no new news. It's just the hedge fund selling out. Everyone chill. Interesting. People are saying news leak. Here's news for you. Roblox continues to post. Yeah, that's true. So nothing. It seems like Roblox is just down on maybe volume movement right now. Interesting for sure. 4.4% on no news right now. Somebody knows something is up. The real question is what's that something? But Roblox is down about 25.68% from its 52-week high. Carlo, Roblox, we talk. Yeah, that's good news for Crowd and Gordon. Which one are we talking about? Good news for Crowd and UiPath. Crowd and UiPath definitely looking attractive. I like CrowdStrike at these levels. I also like UiPath. Even though I'm not in a position in Crowd and UiPath, I definitely see the excitement in this in UiPath. CrowdStrike right now, I'm really liking. This is a strong cybersecurity play. They continue to win projects and contracts, so I'm liking it. I know a lot of people are looking into Sentinel-1 as well. I haven't taken my time to look at that one. Right now, the cybersecurity is a small market in my portfolio. I don't mind just being CrowdStrike with it at the moment. They've shown strong growth overall, so I'm liking this pullback. This might be on my buying list for next Thursday. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday. UiPath, again, I've seen a lot of great investors following UiPath right now. Ticker PATH. Right now sitting at $51, $53 it seems. It's sitting at nice volume area. I do believe this is still in early stages, but it's in early stages where they have something some form of backing, like they have revenue at least for sure, and they're seeing strong growth overall. So UiPath looking attractive at these $50 price point for sure. My bad, that should have been end of year, not end of month on the oil prices forecast. Oh, thanks, Rajesh. Valeria, as a beginner, I don't know what the hell is happening, but I'm losing money. So sad. But then should I buy more now or wait for more to fall? So Valeria, what's going on, Valeria? I know you mentioned you were early into the market, and this is a great time to understand that, hey, the market is not just, it's not a straight line, right? And I understand it's easier to hear that than to just understand. And for people just starting to invest, they're definitely going to see a little bit more red days. I think, and this is my opinion, historically, volatility is normal in the market. There's going to be days where your portfolios are red, where you're going to be losing money. But if you're a long-term investor and buying into companies that have strong cash, that have strong fundamentals, not I wouldn't strong companies, right? Maybe some people might consider like Amazon, like Google, like Netflix, like Facebook. You might be red on them right now, but I believe in the long term of things, if we take a look at multiple years, and that's what long-term investor is, you're not going to remember days like today. So there's so much happening in the market, Valeria, right? There's never any one situation that moves the market completely. I want to say, if you go to different news sites, every news site is going to tell you, hey, this is the thing affecting the stock price. This is the thing affecting the stock price. This is the thing affecting the stock price. Interest rates, right? Inflation, debt ceiling, Chinese stuff with Evergrande, oil prices. There's always something all happening at the same time that move the market. So there's no real reason. As long-term investor, most of these stuff might affect us for the next few months. So for me, whenever I buy a stock, I always prepare myself that, hey, for the next 3-4 months, this position I just bought is most likely going to be down. So this already kind of brings me that emotional calmness that even if the stock price is down, I know I'm investing in a strong company. But at the same time, I believe these companies in the next 5 years are going to be great winners. So it sucks. It sucks, especially for beginners. Sometimes it pushes you to stop investing. I want to say, investor, and I want to get Nvidia, AMD. Should I get in right now or wait out a bit for a drop more? So Valeria, that's the $100 million question, right? For me, Valeria, if you're here in the United States, if you're in the United States, you most likely have the options of doing free trading and fractional trading. I am a huge advocate of dollar cost averaging. Unfortunately, we don't know what tomorrow might bring. We can have some great news that Nvidia and AMD just announced the greatest technological advancement that would drive the stock price to new highs. At the same time, we don't know if tomorrow will bring more chip shortage. So for me, dollar cost averaging, I'm not a person to really go all in at once. For me, I'm more of a dollar cost average. If I had $1,000, I'll probably use like $100 this week, $100 next week, $100 the next week, and kind of just open up a position, because the dip can keep coming, right? The dip can go down a little bit more. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone can really time the bottom. So for me, dollar cost averaging. So if you ever believe a stock price, for me, if I ever believe a stock price is sitting at attractive levels, I would definitely enter with a small position. Hey, it dropped a little bit more. I still open up with a little bit more position and go and do it from there. I think the worst thing to do is believe the dip is, this is the big dip, and you use all your money at once, and then you have no more money left over to buy the dip. So for me, it's never a or B situation. You don't have to just wait, and you don't have to spend all your money at once. You can do a mixture of both. You can use a little bit and wait, use a little bit and wait, use a little bit and wait. And this kind of helps control the emotions. Eventually, as you become a more timed investor or more experienced investor, you're going to see what works well for you. I think right now, as early stages, Valeria, is the best time is to just nibble and try things here and there. So Curtis, do you think the chip shortage is actually a good or bad for Nvidia, AMD, being able to guarantee sell 100% of everything? You can make a good position to be in, right? Curtis, I think it's a mixture of two, right? It's a mixture of two, right? Because you have the chip shortage, you're having a guarantee to sell 100%, right? Definitely true. The thing is, how are investors gonna feel once maybe sales start to slow down a bit? So it might be, I want to say, a double-edged sword. So it's pretty much pick your poison, and I think it's both good and bad. The good thing is, technologically, items, graphics cards, processors advance every 2 to 3 years, right? We have a new graphics card, I believe, every year in form for NVIDIA, but we have some major changes every 3 years. So for me, yes, it might be good and bad for the short term. I think for the long term, it doesn't really matter too much. To a beginner, my advice would be don't look at your portfolio on a daily basis, maybe once a month or once a fortnight at the max. I agree, Rajesh. I want to say my only reason for me looking at my portfolio on a daily basis is just to kind of see what's trending. And for me, right, I am a content creator. So my pretty much my livelihood depends on what's happening in the market. For that reason, I look at it at a daily basis. If I didn't have to do that, I really wouldn't care much about looking at the stocks. So Curtis, what's your current take on why NPS? I don't understand mobile gaming. So I kind of feel like my position in NYPS is a trap, and I'm looking for a way out. Down 33% from my average price of $6.59. So current takes on NYPS, right? So this is when I looked in I talked about it in my position. I've added into this. For me was a speculative play, Curtis. So my take, this is one that would never be a big position in my portfolio. The great thing about speculative plays is they're small positions. If they end up doing great, this could be a huge winner. I think with NYPS right now, they can definitely be the way sports betting companies are going. Companies like DraftKings are focusing a lot in kind of providing new content for their users in form of free-to-play mobile games, in forms of video content. We've also seen Entain do the same thing, Curtis. So for me, this is I wouldn't be surprised if something like DraftKings, like Entain, or some other gambling company or betting company goes and purchase NYPS. Overall, the market, in my opinion, is definitely moving into free play games, especially in the sports betting. So I like it. At the same time, it's a small speculative play for me. At these moments, I'm considering it a hold in my portfolio. I'm not adding, I'm not selling. So that's what I'm doing with it, Curtis. I think, Curtis, for me, that is more of a mobile gaming in the betting market. And I believe the betting market, the iGamification, is one that's going to be growing. It's growing like crazy in the United States. It's doing really well in Europe. Maybe once not to buy in too much as a big position, but one I'm not going to sell. What's going on, Peru? How's it going? Welcome back. And Valeria, this is why I enjoy these streams, right, Valeria? So if you are a new investor, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Things are going to seem pretty bad. I want to say there's no perfect answer for anything. I think as an investor, you have to find out what ends up working for you, what works best for you. Because what works best for me might not be the best thing that works for you. I can withstand numerous downturns. I have no issues because I've been in this market for numerous times. Someone that's a beginner might not be able to hold the same type of positions I do because they might sell off when things go red. So as you become more into the market and get more experience, you'll find out that, hey, this works for me. Maybe I like to hold a little bit bigger companies, like a safer company like Microsoft, maybe like Apple, opposed to just holding a lot of these growth stocks that Jose tends to hold. So as you get more familiar with the market, and it's going to take years, right? And the great thing is, I do believe the market is going to continue to give us great returns as long-term investors. Tina, what do you think about Skyworks? Has it bottomed? Let's take a quick. If you don't understand the product or the company, don't buy. If you believe the company, then buy. Very simple, right? Peru comes in with some knowledge right off the bat. That's the best way to not sell out of a position, right? If I like a company and it doesn't make sense to you, you can just skip it. Just because I like it doesn't mean it's the best investment, right? It's probably the best investment for me, but that's because I understand the company. I understand the market it's in. And you don't have to have every single winner in your portfolio. A portfolio is pretty much made from just a few winners. So you don't have to have every winner. Very similar to what Peru said. If you don't understand the product or company, don't buy it. Another investor can like it, they can make money out of it, but eventually you'll find a stock that you understand, a company you want to buy, and a company you're going to make a lot of money in. Plaric, hi Jose, what do you think about General Electric? So let me take a quick look at Tina's question real quick. So Skyworks moves a nice amount due to, I believe, they have Skyworks. I thought it was SKWS. SWKS? Skyworks, or SWKS. So Skyworks right now, this is one that is a supplier, I believe, to Apple products, right? So Skyworks right now, I want to say it's sitting at attractive levels in forms of technicals, right? I mean, plenty of volume here and kind of bottomed out from there. Let's take a quick look at maybe Y charts for Skyworks. Let's see where this one's sitting at. So SWKS. So Skyworks Solutions, if we take a look, maybe EV, EV to EBITDA forward. So Skyworks, I mean, if we take a look at the 3-year time frame, sitting at 10.04, this is definitely sitting at attractive levels, in my opinion. Tina, I'm not in Skyworks, but in forms of technicals, in forms of EV to EBITDA, it seems to be a strong level compared to where it's at right now. A good risk, I believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated for Skyworks. Doesn't mean it's a good investment, but in forms of technicals and in fundamental financial metrics, it doesn't look bad at all. So Rajesh, time spent in the market is more important than time in the market. Agree. Sergio, what's going on? Sergio, how's it going? Valeria, do you use Robinhood for your stocks? No, Valeria, I don't. I use Fidelity. But if I was for anybody starting off as a beginner, I definitely say Robinhood is the place to go, Valeria, right? I think their user interface is super easy to use. Even though I don't use it, like I said, for any new beginner coming into the market and they want to learn about the how to buy stocks and sell stocks, I want to say Robinhood is definitely the best to go. The reason I moved out of Robinhood is Fidelity. I like their web platform a little bit better. And for my streams, I use it. For my videos, I use it. I get a little bit more news there. And what else? I also like it because when I changed out of Robinhood wasn't doing fractional trading. I think Robinhood now does fractional trading. But if they did fractional trading, I believe I still would have been in Robinhood app. I believe it's one of the best applications for entry-level investors. And even after you've been there for multiple years, it's still a great place to do. Marco, what's going on? You think the bottom is here for SpaceSafe? Holding at $10, $72 cost average, took some serious hits since their earnings. I don't know if it's the bottom, right? I definitely like it. I do believe there's a nice support there in PaySafe. Marco, I definitely like it. Unfortunately, I got in at a better price point than you, so I'm gonna be a bit biased. So I got in the $8 price points. Right now, $7.25. I'm down on it a nice amount, but to me, I'm really liking it here. This is a stock that the iGamification, the eCash Solutions International in Europe, in Latin America is still going. It's still growing or going to get bigger. So I'm liking it at these levels. This is one I have no intentions of selling. If one is also interested in the digital fintech market in Latin America, once Mecca is owned by Melli, it's a SPAC with the Melli team. Maybe take a look at Mecca. One I wouldn't buy at these price points, but it's up a nice amount already. I think yesterday was in the 11s, so today's into 12s. So Mecca is another interesting one. I would be a bigger position in PaySafe, but Mecca, if I wanted to get more of a speculative play in Latin America, they have some nice leadership behind them. Mecca is a nice SPAC. I would definitely like this at $10. Let's see, Jose, what are you gonna open the eToro account? Let me copy your trading. Sergio, the funny thing is I don't really trade much, right? I buy once a week and that's pretty much it. So even without eToro, but I think eToro, a lot of the stocks I buy aren't on that platform. That's why I didn't do it. Also, is it random to put $100 in Bitcoin? I don't think it's random, Valeria, right? I think very similar to stocks though. Bitcoin is going to be actually a little bit more volatile. So right now, Bitcoin just hit 50,000, I believe, after being 32,000 at 32,000 a few months ago. So the huge volatility in there. I think for me, in forms of percentage wise, the way I do it, I know there's other investors. Some investors are super heavy in cryptocurrency. Right now, I want to say compared to my portfolio, I have about, if my 6-figure portfolio, let's say I have about 120 something in stocks, I have about 5k in like crypto assets, and these are stuff I haven't bought recently. These are just things I've accumulated over time. I'm not saying crypto is bad, it's just not a market I understand perfectly. And just kind of go back to what Peru says: if you don't understand it, don't buy it, or blah blah blah. So Big cryptocurrency, not a market I understand too much. So I entered with a very small position, and it would always be a small position until I become more aware of the products and more aware of that market. So if for one, someone entering into Bitcoin would say be very careful with it, learn a little bit more. It's a lot more volatile, so if you can't stomach it, it definitely seen 10% days both up and down. So that's the crazy thing, how to do valuations for crypto. That's where I wouldn't know how to do, right? I definitely see more of like the aspects behind it, of like how it's being used to trade, like the NFT market craze right now, and other products like that. But for me, that's why it remains such a small position, because I don't have that great insight like I do in the semiconductor industry. So for me, I nibbled here and there. I nibbled in 2017, and in 2017, in forms of portfolio size, it would have been like 1% today. It jumped up to about 5%. So let's see what else. Carlo, Robinhood is missing IRA and Roth IRA over the counter. Oh, that is true, Carlo. I do forget, right? I don't think Robinhood offers stuff like your traditional or Roth IRA that some of the big banks do, which is a good thing, right? Seth, my gaming stocks are taking a huge hit. What you think when story will be changing for gaming stocks? Can I do averaging in Roblox, Seth? I mean, I think the gaming market is one that's always going to continue to look scary most of the time, and then there's just random months where they go up. For me, still bullish in the gaming market. Electronic Arts, Activision, Roblox today took a huge hit. I think it all depends, Seth, in what you position sizing. I think position sizing is the biggest thing when having an account, right? If you have 2% of Roblox in your account and you're okay holding 5%, then yes, now is the time to dollar cost average. But if you have 20% in Roblox and you only want to hold about 10%, no, I don't think now is the time to dollar cost averaging. So I think it all depends on position sizing. How much position do you currently have in Roblox in forms of your portfolio? How much do you want to hold? Are you over? Are you under? If you're over, it means you might be a little bit too overextended, and I would rather not dollar cost average. If you're under, this is the time when, yeah, it's time to dollar cost average. So I believe position sizing is very, very important. Biz, that's going to be a huge issue with it later on. I like that Netflix is now a gaming stock. I love Nvidia bouncing back. I sold Amazon yesterday to buy Cologne. Petroleum up nice. A nice new wood. Netflix becoming a gaming stock is definitely pretty interesting for sure. The way they're moving into the market and providing new experiences to their subscribers. I don't think Netflix is ever going to become a strong gaming platform. They are going to make acquisitions, but I believe the acquisitions they make are going to be super small gaming studios like they recently did. And Peru, to me, I like IonQ. Why? I am projecting the next thing after blockchain is Q computing. I bought a dip under $8. It's a long-term investment. Oh wow, did it take quite a hit, IonQ stock price? Oh yes, it did. Oh, Peru, do you know what was the major impact in the stock price difference? Why did it take a huge hit? Pretty interesting. I guess people were just excited after the news, and they just kind of sold off the profits after getting some nice profits on it. Quantum computing, again, I come from an engineering workplace where we worked, I don't work there anymore, where we worked with some crazy advancement technology. Quantum computing still had not made it when I was still working there. So that for that reason, I believe we're still in super early stages. Normally, the place I work with were innovative in the market. They were innovative in the market, and we worked with a lot of evolving technology. Q computing still seems to be early on. We weren't touching it at the moment, but it was definitely something being mentioned around. So I wonder if I would go back to work now if it was a little bit closer to being implemented by other engineers. Because they merged from DMY, so I was okay. So that's usually the case, right, Peru? After the merge, you definitely see that excitement leave and people leave. When is Amazon gonna move? It's been at the same level for ages. Doug, I agree. That's why I believe Amazon is people are sleeping on Amazon for some time right now. It's a stock price that's been super quiet for the past year or so. But guys, I do have prior engagements at 11 o'clock. I just want to thank you everybody for coming in. We had 56 people in current viewers. Appreciate the support. Yesterday was 100. Even today was a green day. I'm happy to have so many people with you guys support. Doug, thank you for casting. Peru, thank you. Neil, Brisfis, Gordon, Valeria, feel free to come in whenever if you have any questions. And any new investors, feel free to ask questions like Valeria. Take this opportunity, right? There's different investors in this chat and you can learn a lot. Carlos, thank you. Seth, thank you. Marco, Rajesh, Sergio, Tina, Bill Brent, Curtis, and if I missed that, Gordon, Rajesh, 33. If you guys are still here, thank you so much, guys. Dennis, I hope you guys have a good day. Hope the market treats you well. Take care, guys. Have a good night and see you tomorrow. So peace out, guys. And stop streaming. Yep.